we have another guest. Can I bring in this other guest? I'm so excited.
Oh, okay.
Johanna Fernandez.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Okay, yes. So we have a guest coming in, and I'm really excited. And I think she either just was at a protest or is still at the protest. And I'm just going to bring her in. Johanna?
Hi there.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming. Margaret Kimberley of Black Agenda Report.
Nice to meet you.
And Johanna is someone I've interviewed about many things, mostly about the work she does around Mumia Abu-Jamal. And she's a native New Yorker, received a PhD in history from Columbia University and a BA in literature and American civilization from Brown. She teaches 20th century U.S. history, the history of social movements at Baruch, and her
history. I'm in the Department of History at Baruch.
Oh.
That's all right.
But it says Department of Black and Latino Studies. You're in both?
Yeah, no, I'm no longer in Black. It's unclear why that appears, but
okay. You're a Department of History. Okay, yes. You're a historian. And your book is The Young Lords and Radical History. I think I actually have it, so in the city. With that seamless intro, we were talking about the protests.
I'm still out here.
You're still out here, okay.
Thousands and thousands of people came out. Police cars were beaten up. They were given a black eye on Union Square. Some were burnt up. The cops were horrifically aggressive. In Manhattan, they just literally drove into a crowd and arrested quite a number of folks, but literally drove into a crowd both in Manhattan and in Brooklyn. And the images of these attacks, just the violence on the part of police against protesters is epic. But the demonstrations were massive, spirited, incredibly diverse, people of all races. It was just beautiful to behold.
Wow. And was anyone killed or injured that we know of yet in the driving?
I'm a little concerned about the scene in Brooklyn where 2 cop cars literally drive into a crowd of protesters who were standing their ground. And one instance of that here in Manhattan, but people were arrested, but I'm not sure. I was close by, but I couldn't tell. And they cleared out the area immediately. With batons, literally.
Wow. And where are you now? What neighborhood are you in?
So I'm in front of Baruch College where I teach. I came here with some folks to use the bathroom. We just left Union Square.
Wow. And what made you come out? And I mean, I have not been in the city since COVID really took off, and I've never been to a protest wearing a mask. So what's it like, and what made you decide to protest?
Well, I'm a revolutionary, and this is a moment to stand up. Enough is enough. I think that we are seeing multiple pandemics in the United States, and we are now seeing the horror of police violence after we've seen the horror that the American government deployed against its people by not producing PPEs. We know that Black Americans are not just being killed in the streets, they're also being killed in hospitals, that we're disproportionately dying in America of COVID-19. I mean, this is when are we going to say that we are not going to allow the abuse anymore?
I was just reminded that something, I interviewed David Sirota about this, and we are Andrew Cuomo helps give immunity to these nursing home companies to protect them from basically keeping people safe, to let them slash their staff so that, people in nursing homes can die of negligence. It's a bipartisan thing that we've seen. And of course, the people who are dying of COVID are disproportionately Black and brown people. So
absolutely. Yeah. So I feel that this is a different moment. I feel that the generations of people who are out have seen multiple videos of people being killed by the cops. This one was especially
Yeah.
harrowing. The last word that George Floyd said was "mama."
I think I saw
Mama.
that part of it. Wow.
Mama. That was the last word he uttered before life left him. Uh, but we're talking about a generation, especially the young people, because young people are out in droves at these demonstrations, who, if you think about it, they've grown up in the Black Lives Matter era, but also in a period of economic devastation and disaster. So to them, the American government is not legitimate. There is a crisis of legitimacy, and enough is enough. I mean, and people have been cooped up, right?
Right.
There's a fascinating combination of social forces that account for this uprising. It's the multiple pandemics, the economic crisis, the rise of white supremacy, the insanity of Trump, the sense that we've got a failed state and we're the wealthiest society humanity has seen. There was a sense of revelry and freedom at the demonstration that I hadn't really seen before. Yeah, it was really beautiful to behold, and the crowds. I mean, farther, way farther than the eye could see. And we marched along Union Square, but also along the Hudson River Drive. Both highways were. I have protesters outside telling me that we've got to go.
Okay.
Both
Revolution
highways.
can't wait.
Both highways were blocked, by the way, by protesters. Both the FDR and the West Side Highway. The cops were out with riot gear, but ultimately they are the few and we are the many. And at some point when we were out in the thousands, they had to get out of the way.
Yeah. So it's like a paradoxical, seems like inspirational, tragic, inspirational, infuriating moment.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrifically devastating and sad and traumatic. I haven't been able to watch
Yeah,
that
that's what I was
video
gonna
in its entirety. I've watched elements of it. It's difficult to live with that, to sleep knowing that this happened. But what is amazing is that people in Minneapolis of different races have come out. Black people are leading, but working class white people came out in mass numbers. And there's a sense that that we have to defend black life in order to defend our humanity, as a people, as a country.